Hey everyone, it's Armor Gaming. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Monster Legends. We have a double analysis video for you guys today. We have an analysis on Antlerian as well as Torvox, the $50 Golden Pass monster. So Antlerian is going to be the Marathon monster, which is coming up in a couple days. And then Torvox is the $50 Golden Pass monster, okay? So, let's see how good both of these monsters are. We're going to skip the lore, they're pretty long for both monsters. And we're just going to get into the stats, the skills, and all that fun stuff. But before we do that, let's see. Antlerian is a nature and magic monster. So far we've been seeing dual elements. And no surprise, everyone is like nature. So yeah, Antlerian is nature and magic, as is Nerida, alright. What else do you have? Hardened. Torch immunity. The torch immunity is going to be useful, especially with 7 sins and beasts. A self-pyrophobic shield for 3 turns, okay? And then Torvox is, okay, he's actually a single element monster. He's a thunder monster, which in this new era of taking more damage from, like if you look at the multiplier, I think it's 2.5 now, if you're at an elemental disadvantage. So it helps to only be 1 element. You are torch immunity as well, hardened in area stamina leak. Okay, so once again, the torch immunity is useful. Hardened is always useful. It's an umbrella trait, 20% chance to not get hit with negative effects. The area stamina leak, however, I'm not feeling it. This monster is a stamina drainer from what I saw in the leaks, and Antlerian is a denier monster. Actually, let's see. Antlerian is a nature magic control monster with roots and cooldown activation. And then for Torvox, we have Thunder Controller with stun curse, stamina removal, and addition skills. Okay, so SP starting things off with the denier monsters. I think I said in the leak video that I think they're going to be pretty fast since they're deniers. I already put their stats in my monster sheet, so let's see how they compare to all the other monsters. So right now I'm categorized by the life stats, and as you can see, the monsters say Season 0. These are the new Blossom monsters, and look what we have here for the Tankiest Monsters. Torvox is number 1, the Golden Pass exclusive monster, with 133,308 life, followed by Antlerian with 132,101. So they are currently the tankiest, and it does seem like most of the new Blossom monsters are going to have around the life stats of, as of right now, it is, yeah, they're going to be tankier than the old generation. Like, maybe Orgarunk will hang on in there for a while, but, I mean, he's irrelevant. In terms of a power stat, take a look at this. Queen Zara is still number 1 at 10,824, but then we have Torvox at 10,758, which is tied with that of Elvira Demon Slayer and Shiv. So yeah, 2 of the strongest attackers from the Doomsday era. Torvox has that same power stat. And keep in mind, Torvox is a denier, right? So that's interesting. And then yeah, so let's go down. Where is Antlerian? Antlerian is another denier, and he does have a more realistic power stat for a denier, I would say, at 10,241, tied with that of Sparkus and Killer Rogue. In terms of a speed stat, ooh, where are they? Where are they? Galvanus is still the fastest Doomsday era. Antlerian is 8,096, which is tied with that of Itzabeth and Weirdica, 2 support monsters. Torvox is at 8,008, which is tied with that of Viziel, the resurrection monster. So you can really see how the stats are starting to shape out. The biggest difference we're seeing is in that life stat. They are definitely tankier than the old generation of monsters. Alright, let's go back to the monster skill sheet. Alright, so relics, you can hold a staff and an amulet relic. Pure Gaia, Good Legion's families. Ancient Warrior deals moderate nature damage to an enemy. 30 stamina, 0 cooldown, 30 stamina cost, 30 damage, 0 cooldown, sorry. Deepest Roots, low magic damage applies curse to everyone, AoE curse. Norwegian Spurs applies torch immunity to an ally and pyrophobic shield to an ally. This could be useful if you have like a Mega Taunt monster, for example, or a Taunt monster. You want to give it torch immunity since typically it's getting hit with a lot of dots and stuff. And then the pyrophobic shield will also help as well. And it also has a 1-turn cooldown, so every other turn you can do this. Let's see, White Cedar activates cooldowns on one enemy and applies curse. The single target is actually better considering we live in a dodge area and taunt mechanic. Once you get rid of the taunt monster, you'll be able to activate cooldowns on the single enemy monster. We have applies torch immunity to allies and pyrophobic shield. This is probably one of the more useful skills. Again, because of beasts, because of 7 sins, there's so many monsters that start off the game with a random torture as well. Like Teddy Bomb comes to mind, Uriel comes to mind, right? They start off with a random torture. So if you're taking on 7 sins, Teddy Bomb, Uriel, and then Beast, that's the potential to have 4 random tortures at the start of the battle. Now the problem is, if you get hit with the nanovirus, your torture immunity won't be able to cleanse that away. We have a skill that activates cooldowns on one enemy and then curse to everyone. So single CDA, residual curse. So similar to White Cedar, right? Except it's curse to one enemy. I would say they have a 2-turn cooldown, and what the heck? This one has 2 stamina cost less. I would run Mendocino Tree over White Cedar. Yeah, unless you want 2 cooldown activation skills, which you might need. And then we have deals moderate nature damage, activates roots. Roots is the new denial we have. So the problem with the deny meta is it doesn't really work out. It just doesn't. The best way this monster is going to work out is if you partner it up with Nerida, who can disable traits. That's the only way I see it working. Otherwise, yeah, you're in trouble. And the fact that, well, they're both the same elements. Maybe you have a nature magic where you'd be able to use them both. But yeah, with her, you'd be able to remove positive effects and then AoE trait disable. If you're taking on dodge area, that won't work, but you can single trait disable, and then you can follow up with the denier. So it's whenever I've done an exclusive first look video, I've always done Xiao Long. Nerida, to an extent, kind of works like Xiao Long in that you can do that single trait disable, follow up with the denier. So I might do that to showcase, because if you are taking on taunt dodge area, at least with the combo, you would be able to trait disable the Megaton monster, remove their status cast from Megaton if they have it, and then you can follow up and single CDA AoE curse, and then next turn CDA again, and then roots at one point, you know. So it is possible, especially because Nerida has 2 extra turn skills, so she can cycle back into the single trait disable. So turn 1, let's say it's like Mirror Modus, Teddy Bomb, and Slumster. Turn 1 would be get rid of the status caster Megatons with your cleansing skill, your per, and then you trait disable. Then Antlerian goes and does the single CDA on Slumster, so now he's shut down, and then the enemy Teddy Bomb is going to take a hit on you, but you'll probably have a taunt monster, Megaton monster to protect. And then when Nerida goes again, you can trait disable Teddy Bomb, and then Antlerian would go next, and then you can do roots. So that's the kind of combo that's going to work out. I love the ultimate name, Eternal God. Removes positive effects from all enemies, disables traits, applies stun. This is good. I think when I saw it, I don't know if I looked at the ultimate. I thought it was trait disable, then remove positive effects when I did the leak video, but this is definitely a lot better. So you cleanse first, then you trait disable, then you stun, then you vulnerable. That's awesome. It doesn't deal any damage or anything, but at least this gives you a chance to react and hopefully win the game. I wonder why SP didn't just do roots instead of stun, since it's like kind of the new gimmick on this monster. So yeah, if you want this monster, it's going to be available in the team race. Alright guys, Antlerian. And then we have to take a look at Torvox, once again the exclusive Golden Pass monster, meaning you have to dish out $50 if you want this monster. So he's in the Evil Legions and Villains, so he might be the Era 1 villain. I don't know, maybe not. Let's see, Staff Mask. Ooh, and we are getting a new mask. We're getting Torvox Mask, which is a stamina recovery mask. So looking forward to that. Also means Tetsuman's mask is going to be craftable. Alright, Space Traveler. Deals moderate thunder damage, applies stamina leak. Come See and Defeat. Deals low thunder damage, applies curse. Another AoE curse. Spammable, by the way. Milky Way Drink gives 100% stamina to an ally. These stamina recovery skills, honestly, nowadays, your talents and your relics, they basically have that covered, so you don't really need an ally to do a skill like this. Stun Regen, though, still nice, but a skill like this, I'm not really feeling it. Let's see, Magellanic Clouds. Deals moderate thunder damage, applies curse to one enemy and stamina leak. So keep in mind, curse removes 10% of stamina and HP for the first turn, then 20, and then 40. So combined with the stamina leak, the first turn, the enemy's going to lose 25% stamina. The next turn, they're going to lose, 35% stamina. And then the last turn, they lose 55% stamina. So definitely huge on the stamina drain. But again, monsters can recover stamina thanks to relics and talents. There's a lot of per and nur in the game too, where I don't know how well it realistically works out. Deals low thunder damage to enemies, applies curse. Also, if you keep reapplying curse, it just resets it. So if you were about to take away 40% of HP and stamina, but then you did an AoE curse, now it's back to 10%. So that's something to keep in mind. So low thunder damage to everyone, gives 30% of stamina to allies. Let's see, Virgo's Thunder deals moderate thunder damage, removes 100% stamina and stun. So this is like the double deny. If the monster is immune to stun, good thing you're stamina draining. If they're not immune to stun, well, now you 100% stamina drained and you've stunned, so they got to use a turn to recover the stamina. But again, as I mentioned, there's so many relics that can recover stamina, so it doesn't matter. So for example, Torvox Mask, I think it's if any allies' stamina is below 50%, everyone heals, right? Which is crazy. It's like the Cane of Atlantis, but now in mask form. So yeah, stamina drain, not as powerful as it once was. Let's see, gives 50% stamina to allies, stamina regen. Great stamina recovery, but again, relics and talents can do his job. And then we have Robbery in Andromeda, deals low thunder damage, removes 100% stamina from everyone, AoE stamina drain. Galactic Invader removes positive status effects from all enemies, removes 100% stamina from enemies. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't see this monster being like I don't see this monster being good. If you were to buy the Golden Legends Pass exclusive offer, I guarantee you this is a monster you would never use. Even in a worse scenario, what is he in? Evil Legions? There's so many Evil Legion monsters, villains as well. Families, you're probably using like a Megaton monster or something. I don't know my books off the top of my head. But unfortunately, I don't feel like he's a monster that would be used. Honestly, between Torvox and Antlerian would be the better way to go. Because at least you have access to just single CDA. And you're not relying on stamina drain. They both have the torture immunity. But this one, that Pyrophobic Shield, like I mentioned, could be super useful on your Megaton monster or your Taunt monster. And the Pyrophobic Shield as well. So yeah, so far, I haven't seen anything too crazy in the Blossom era. The most powerful monster would probably have to be Nerida, and that's just because being able to per extra turn, trade disable, and then get rid of negative effects, life regen, extra turn. So she is currently the most viable monster that I've seen. But that's it for my analysis on these two monsters. Now I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about these two monsters? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much, and remember to subscribe.